Emerging markets, and we begin with a look at some of those currencies.
That's right. It looks like the years of easy money and booming growth are over. Emerging countries have driven the global recovery during this economic crisis, but now there's fears that while they slow down, could they affect the developed countries? For more on this, we look at a package done by Delana de Souza, who explores some of the questions surrounding monetary policy in these emerging markets.
South Africa, Turkey, Indonesia, Brazil, and India. They've been nicknamed the Fragile Five, and they've sent jitters across global markets. Euros and dollars have been leaving, resulting in the value of their respective currencies plunging. In 1 month, Turkey's lira has fallen more than 4%, and the South African rand more than 15%. Growth is seen as part of the problem, between 2.1% projected for Brazil and 5.4% for Indonesia, considered high rates elsewhere, but not in emerging countries.
Brazil is going through a difficult time, and the problem is that prices are increasing.
Money has also been flowing back to the United States as the Federal Reserve is unwinding its stimulus program. A strengthening American recovery is luring investors there. The sell-off in emerging market currencies has been broad-based, but analysts say investors will soon start to pick and choose.
We're just seeing everything sold, everything's being grouped together, but I do expect that to start to change over the coming weeks, and the market will start to become slightly more selective in which currencies it's selling and which it's starting to buy.
For now, at least, economists are minimizing the risk of contagion. They're pointing in particular at the fact that China has been largely spared.
Take us through the markets, William.
Markets in China and South Korea closed to the Chinese New Year, while the Nikkei in Japan closed down 0.62%, a good sign for Japanese exports. Stocks had opened earlier in the day after consumer prices saw their highest climb in 5 years. The country has also had positive employment and manufacturing data, but the real winner is Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who pledged to revive growth and end 15 years of falling prices. Now let's take a look at some company news. Google saw its profits climb in the fourth quarter. Sales in its core ad business were up more than 20% for the second straight quarter, but it wasn't easy. The internet search giant was able to weather lower ad prices thanks to the retailer spending more on advertising during the holidays.
Honda saw its third quarter profits double from a year earlier, and it posted a 25% jump in quarterly sales. The Tokyo-based company also got a boost from a weak yen. Honda and other Japanese automakers have been bouncing back after troubled years. Production was disrupted in Japan in 2011 due to an earthquake and tsunami. Sales were also hurt in Thailand 2 years ago due to flooding.
And Satya Nadella is tipped to be the next CEO at Microsoft. He would replace Steve Ballmer, who left in August but stayed on while the company searched for his successor. Nadella is currently in charge of Microsoft's cloud and enterprise division. He would be just the third leader in the software company's 39-year history.
And finally, we end with an interesting story that's coming out of Japan about a traditional doll maker who's trying to find a modern twist.
U.S. Ambassador Caroline Kennedy and the Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe are being immortalized as Hina dolls. These are dolls that are meant to ward off bad luck for young girls, and they're going to be celebrating the day in March with Girls' Day. And Kennedy and Abe were chosen because they lifted people's spirits throughout the year. But the doll maker says it wasn't very easy making a doll based off of the Japanese Prime Minister. Let's take a listen.
There aren't many images of Mr. Abe when he's smiling. We really want smiles, as we want to create something which people will see as cheerful. Mr. Abe doesn't really smile.
All right, thank you very much, Will Hildebrand, for joining us on set with the day's business news. Now it's time for web news, beginning with the ongoing crisis in Ukraine.
These Ukrainians are part of Auto Maiden, which has become literally